A character disturbingly reminiscent of a delinquent school shooter. Yikes. Mustard is a young B-rank villain that's been inspired by the ideologies and actions of Stain, which probably aligns with his prejudices against the heroes and the institutions that foster their development, prompting him to join the League of Villains and serve in the Vanguard Action Squad. His role as Area Denial is to ambush any unsuspecting students at the training camp by blanketing a large area within the forest with a vast cloud of sleep-inducing toxic gas produced by his quirk. For someone that could be a middle schooler, he's quite the astute and perceptive little shit. He looks for the functionality and fundamentals in things. Since Mustard is still a young kid, his quirk is still developing, as he might not be immune to the effects of his own toxins, given the gas mask he wears. Whether building immunity to the gas is possible or not, this middle schooler Mustard has proven to be quite a credible threat, being able to compete with two UA students in a fight at the same time due to his understanding of the nuances of his quirk, in particular detecting movements within the gas by reading air fluctuations, engaging the limits in both his opponent's weakening endurance and lung capacity. Also, he has a gun. Mustard shows an apparent disillusionment towards the perception of prestigious schools, expecting every little detail of the students to meet his image of what a top school should be.
なんでそういうの考えらんないかな。夢でしょ？夢見させてよ。それだからこんな襲撃許しちゃうんだよ。
The two UA students he faced failed miserably in his eyes and were deemed as unworthy of their position. This skewed outlook on these unremarkable individuals are what he declares to be what is wrong with the world. For instance, either they have exceptional quirks but make impulsive decisions that land them in easily punishable positions, which doesn't reflect the top education that student is supposed to be getting.
ターミネーターごっこ？高価とはいえ都心とかさ、勘弁してよ。名門校でしょ？高学歴でしょ？考えてくんない？
Or they act all heroic and confident when they have a lackluster quirk that won't help them achieve anything as a hero. Yet, they're praised by society, and more often than not become successful in their field just because they go to an elite school like UA.
That's what's wrong with this world!
Mustard is probably a case of someone who is frustrated at their own shortcomings and resents others for their success. He may have failed to get accepted to an elite hero school and was judged because of his villain-appropriate quirk he was born with. Through his lens, filled with resentment and envy, he had to create a scapegoat to take responsibility for his own deep-seated issues. The hero students of top schools. This psychological compromise to his failed expectations of himself lends itself to continual demeaning comments and emphasis on the UA students' flaws, poor decisions, and even when he gave them praise, he still discredited any prior recognition.
まっすぐこっちに向かってるのが3。2人かな。やっぱ気づくやつも切り抜けるやつもいるんだね。さすがは名門校だよな。でも悲しいよね。どんだけ優秀な個性があっても人間なんだよね。
A reason why he sports his junior high school uniform as his villain costume is probably to present an example of the failure of the school system and expose the top schools by showing how a rejected middle schooler bested these selected applicants. Or he literally became a villain right after school. He might have the skills and prudency to become a rank B villain, but he's a little, petty, toxic coward who talks down and mocks the students of UA.
2対1で1人は身を隠して不意打ち狙いで。あっさいよそこが。
Does he have what it takes to be a hero? Let alone a good person if he had the proper support? If the theory holds true, then Mustard and Shinso are on two sides of the same coin, where one has the determination to continue to make progress despite being many steps behind due to his placement in school, while the other most likely submitted to the success of others because it's easier to just be angry with the world. Boy, it'll be embarrassing if I didn't get close to why he became a villain, but I don't think we're getting more info on this guy. So, what are your thoughts on Mustard?